So we've talked about the importance of alpha, understanding alpha, the angle of attack, stay within the envelope. The next thing we're going to talk about is you gotta stay in control. You gotta take control, especially if it's just not you in the cockpit. If you're the captain, or even if you're the first officer, right? If it's a multi-crew environment, the airplane needs someone to take control, and only one person can take control. We've recently had an accident in the United States where two different control inputs were applied. It sheared the control column and it caused an airplane to crash. Well, it's very, very important to understand who has taken the flight controls, right? That's why the positive exchange of flight controls is very, very important. And only one person flies the airplanes at all times. Okay? So, take control. If you're flying more advanced airplanes and you have autopilot and an auto thrust, disconnect automation. And this is obviously if you are in a unusual attitude environment. Disconnect automation, exclamation point, period, done. Disconnect autopilot, disconnect auto thrust, and the next thing that should come out of your mouth is I have control. But you might say, well, but hold on. I was flying the airplane to begin with. Why do I always have to say I have control? Well, if you are in a multi-crew environment, especially if you're a first officer, if you don't say I have flight controls or I have control, it's very likely that the captain will take control immediately because that's his airplane. Okay? It's a very common thing. And they want to deal with it and they want to take care of it. But that split second that takes him from recognizing the issue, thinking, why hasn't my first officer taken control? Oh, I have to take the flight controls. That split second may well bring an airplane from being in an okay attitude that you can recover to an unrecoverable unusual attitude. All right? So disconnect automation, say and verbalize very loud and clear, I have control, and then proceed with the recovery. Okay? Further, if you have stalled and you recognize the stall, I would add the words stall, I have control. If you're in a nose high attitude, I would say nose high, I have control. If you're in a nose low attitude, unusual attitude, nose low, I have control. You get my drift. Very, very important. Disconnect automation. Verbalize who has the flight controls. Take control of the airplane. Aviate, navigate, communicate. Now, we are in the fun stuff. So, we are inverted. How do we know we're inverted? Well, the sky pointer is all the way over here. It's pointing towards the sky. The pitch is right here. I see a lot of dirt. In front of me. The sky is behind me because, well, that's where the pointer is. And the horizon is right here. Right? Even though I'm a little bit above the horizon, my trend is actually, if I had a flight path vector, it would probably be somewhere down here because that's where my airplane is actually going. Okay, so we have established we are in a inverted environment. We are inverted. So, what are we going to do if we are inverted? I want you to think about this. Push, roll, power, level. This is really a technique in a nutshell. Push, roll, power, level. What do I mean by that? Well, the first thing we gotta do is we have to unload the wing. We have to push forward. Hold on. You're telling me that I am inverted, going down. This is where the path of the airplane is going. I'm going down. I'm going this way for sure. And you're telling me to push forward towards the sky? Yes. Why? Because you're actually unloading the wing. Okay? When you unload the wing, okay, you are basically making your flight controls more effective because it has less G's, to fight against them. So the ailerons are more effective, which means it can increase your roll rate. And we need to roll here because, well, we need to go back to our original attitude, right? So how do we unload? Again, we're gonna go to 0.5 G's, remembering that when we are straight and level normal flight, we are always at 1 G. 0.5 is you're unloading just a little bit. You should feel a little lighter as you do this, okay? But if you float, you went too far and you're actually in a 0 G environment, which we really don't want to, especially if we have people in the back, okay? In any event, unload the wing, push forward. We're gonna push forward this way, okay? Even if you push too much, the airplane is actually not gonna go up. Why? Well, imagine this. Here we have an airplane that is upside down. When you push forward, what are you doing? Well, you have this thing here, right, called the elevator. Well, the elevator is only this big, right? It's got this force, right, and that force, right? Well, the airplane is about this big and weighs a lot. If you push it forward to unload the wing and you're causing the nose of the airplane to go up this way, it will momentarily go up this way, but it won't go too much because the elevators just don't have the necessary force to actually fly inverted. No, folks, if you are flying a transport category airplane, it's not possible to fly inverted, contrary to what many believe, contrary to even what movies out there say. All right? So the first thing is unload the wing, 0.5 G's, okay? So you're going to push forward, all right? The second thing is we're going to roll the airplane in the shortest, very, very important, in the shortest distance toward the sky pointer. Or you can say it towards where the horizon is. So I'm going to stop right here and I want you to tell me which way would be better, which one would be closer to go to the sky pointer. Rolling this way or rolling this way. You guessed it right. Roll this way would actually be faster, right? Has less distance to travel to go towards the horizon or the sky pointer. How are we going to do that? We are going to use our ailerons. Remember, we've unloaded the wing, right? The ailerons are more effective now. And we're gonna use rudder together. In other words, coordinated, right? Just don't go full rudder because now you can put yourself in a spin environment. Just ailerons and rudder together. If you just apply ailerons, even though they're more effective because you unloaded the wing, the airplane's gonna roll, but the roll's gonna be very, very slow. If you couple the aileron input with the rudder, it's gonna be much, much faster, much more effective. Make sense? As we can see here, we are also in a high angle of attack environment. At a high angle of attack, we use a lot more rudder than aileron in order to bank and roll the airplane, right? So don't forget to use your rudder, okay? And that's how we're gonna roll in the shortest distance. As you roll past, and this is a little caveat here, as you roll past 6 degrees, past 6 degrees of bank, right? Of bank, this is when you're gonna start applying nose up or brake pressure. The number 3 now is when we adjust power, thrust as necessary, right? You're probably gonna go to idle here. Why do we say that? Because as you roll in the shortest distance, your flight path vector is still down. You're gonna see that your pitch attitude is gonna go down very, very quickly until you pass about 60 degrees. As you pass about 60 degrees and apply back pressure, this is when you're actually going to start climbing a little bit and your airspeed is going to start decreasing. But until then, your airspeed is gonna start increasing very, very quickly. So you probably want to go power to idle. And then number 4, high drag devices if you have it. As you can see here, in a nutshell, unloading, we're going to push, We're going to roll in the shortest distance towards the sky pointer or towards the horizon. Roll. Adjust power or thrust, power, and then level, right? And that's after, obviously, the high drag, you're going to level the wing. Okay, and then resume cruise flight.